The Experience Pros radio show, where small business is big business and your business is our business. Follow them on twitter.com/experiencepros. Now, back to Angel and Eric, the Experience Pros.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros radio show with Angel and Eric. Very nice to have you along with us. Does your IT experience match up with what you expected?
You know what? It should, and if it doesn't, listen closely. We have Brad Binkley, the owner of Binkley IT Consulting, the owner and founder. He says, we provide the perfect blend of value and IT expertise to businesses with a customer-centered focus.
Yep. Without
depriving you of your dignity.
Whoa, wait a minute. Brad, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
What does that mean? No one does that. Hold on. We provide the perfect blend of value and IT expertise to businesses with a customer-centered focus without depriving you of your dignity. What's up with that, mister?
Well, the depriving of the dignity is the main point of what we try to do.
Because I feel dumb.
You feel dumb?
Sometimes.
Well, we try not to make you feel dumb.
I am a designer.
Yeah. I think the most common stereotype that people have of IT people is that they're difficult to deal with. Correct? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Right, because you're engineering, you talk in code.
Yeah, a lot of times we're awkward, or we're rude, and we end up making people feel stupid by being insulting. And with Binkley IT, we don't do that.
I love that.
That's
love that.
Good start.
And I think that's something that we're looking for when we're, because if we're calling you, if you're taking care of the computer piece, for me, if the buttons don't work, something's broken and I have no clue, and you could sit there and describe to me, well, your HTTP and your
the muffler
LAN
bearings are out of alignment.
And I'm like, well, whatever. Actually, I'm starting to learn some of the acronyms. So tell our listeners a little bit about Binkley IT and how the consulting implements into our workday.
Sure. So I've been doing consulting in Denver since 1999, and I learned very early in my career that people respond very well to being treated nicely.
Absolutely.
It seems obvious, but it doesn't get practice in
It's one of those things that's so simple as to be profound.
Right, exactly. I've always had a mentality that, I'm no better than you simply because I know how to fix your computer. And as I progressed in my career, I started to notice how uncommon that was among people who are working in my industry. So a little over a year ago, I decided to make an investment in what I think are my rare abilities to understand how computers work, but also to communicate with people effectively in order to create a company that will start changing that stereotype and provide excellent support.
Wait, and I love that. But now, Brad, you also you design, so you're a designer too, which is very cool. You implement and support.
You're gonna let him like join that ranks.
He's a nice man.
I'm probably like you. I'm a designer because I've told myself that I'm a designer and I fiddle around in Photoshop. But I partner with designers when I need to.
Gotcha.
But I do it as a hobby.
As does Eric. Let's just not be fooled by that. All right. Now, you said you put together, I was listening to you, you had an answer. You said you put together your rules of, or you came up with your value practices. Say that sentences. You had a sentence in there that said you were discovering kind of how you came up with the business model that you put together.
Yeah. So I wanted to take my talents, I think are rare, of a combination of that I understand computers, but I understand how to communicate that to people, and I think that's lacking in with a lot of IT people.
So when somebody calls you and they ask a question, you're not gonna necessarily give them the technical answer, but perhaps a more friendly answer?
The more friendly answer that makes them feel more comfortable, because I find by default people feel uncomfortable when they call and talk to them about the problems, because they don't want to feel like they're stupid, and they've had a history of other IT people making them feel like they're stupid.
Right.
And so they start off, behind the eight ball, being like, I don't want to feel like I'm stupid.
So Brad, give us a peek behind the curtain. What's a day like in the life of Binkley IT?
Well, you talked about our three categories, which we try to simplify what we do, is design, implement, and support.
Right.
And the best way that I can talk about that is to show you what I do on an average day. And so I think last week I had a great day that talks about this. My first appointment was at a client's home office, where I went on site. He was having problems with his Wi-Fi. And so we went out
With his wife?
No, with his Wi-Fi.
Oh, his wireless internet signal.
His wireless, and in this case, it turns out his Wi-Fi router was just misconfigured.
Gotcha.
And so after we configured it properly, he was good to go.
Do they reconfigure themselves?
So sometimes there have been times where like a power outage occurs.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
Or they get zapped, or
I was
Okay.
married for 23 years. They do not reconfigure themselves.
not the wives, the Wi-Fi.
All right.
Okay.
They do.
And
Well, the key word was.
Well, and that's one of the simpler things that we do, but it was still very valuable to that business owner for us to come out there, get him fixed, and get him working so he can continue with his day. And after that, I had another appointment with a larger client to finish up a project that we had been working on for about 3 weeks. They had an aging fleet of servers that were starting to show signs of failure. And so we came in and we designed a plan to prolong those servers' lives by virtualizing them onto new hardware. And then a week ago, we implemented that plan. And then this week, we start supporting that new hardware. And so that's what we do. We design, implement.
So you go into a company that has servers handling multiple computer units, and desktops and laptops and all of that, or into a home office where they just have one.
Yeah. So our clientele runs the gambit. We have the sole proprietors, and we have the large businesses of 50 or more users.
What is like the most commonly asked question when people call? And I'm going to give the contact information. It's binkleyit.com, BINKLEYIT.com, or 720-254-1057. Again, that's 720-254-1057. You can email them at support@binkleyit.com. The most commonly asked, you guys pick up the phone, what are most people calling about? Do you have
viruses?
Viruses.
Yeah. Typically, when I go on site, when I have a contract, when I'm on site all the time.
Those things are wicked.
Yeah, but the people who are calling me it's always an emergency,
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh,
Absolutely.
my computer is not working. What happened? I just have this screen popped up and I can't do anything else. And it's typically viruses.
Are you able to fix them?
Yes.
Oh,
Are you a fan of backing up?
I'm a huge fan of backing up. It's very silly not to, because it's so easy and it helps you recover from a number of problems.
Yeah. And viruses. So we're still there. Those little buggers are just out there.
Well, and they're out there, and what's really interesting is the number of viruses that now are infecting Apple computers are increasing.
What?
And almost always, I talk to Apple users and like, do you have antivirus on your computer? And they're like, no, because we don't get viruses. It's just not true anymore.
I also used to not back up
You should back up.
until I lost my hard drive.
Yeah, it's a hard lesson to learn.
It was very hard.
4 years.
I'm still bitter. I'm not over it.
Brad Binkley is showing people that it is possible to have a good relationship with your IT guy, and you can have a great personality without sacrificing the expertise. Brad, a final thought for us?
Yeah, we're very passionate about helping small businesses and medium-sized businesses take care of their IT network. We all have the same philosophy. Everyone who works with me wants to help. And what we like to say is that Binkley IT Consulting will help you solve your IT puzzle one piece at a time.
Nice.
Solve your IT puzzle one piece at a time. Check out their website, and you see that whole puzzle theme going through at binkleyit.com. Are you on social media, Facebook, that kind of stuff?
Yes. So facebook.com/BinkleyIT.
Binkley IT, 720-254-1057. You can also email them at support@binkleyit.com. Super friendly, and they can handle all of your computer needs, even Wi-Fi problems.
Yeah, right. Brad, thanks for being with us, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Folks, when we come back,